face, but nothing changed unless you change what's around you, how you think, how you live, how you speak, how you walk, how you blink, how you talk, how you teach, how you reach, let it sink. What's your purpose? What's your passion? Through the pain, what's your plan? Is it plain? On a plane? Hydroplane? I'm just playing. What's your purpose? What's your passion? Through the pain.
Whoa. We are here. You are now plugged in with Molly and Joe, the Mental Warriors. We have a great show for you today. My boy Joe is here. We missed last week. There was a little bit of communication issues or what have you, but it was a long week. I had to bury my brother. Rest in peace, Chief Captain Hebron. It was with the family. It was a very emotional day, and I couldn't make it on. But I had a couple of other brothers that was going to come on, and they was actually going to knock it out the park. I know they was going to knock it out the park. So what I did was I said, we're going to do the same show we was going to do last week, this week, and we're just going to add myself. Ain't much of an ad, but I'll make it work. All right. So what we're going to do is, my man Joe, take it away real quick.
What's going on, everybody? We missed y'all last week. But the good thing is there's a lot more content that happened between last week and this week. So we're a little more energy filled. We got a little more energy for y'all. Like I told you earlier, I'm surprised you're not wearing your Knicks gear from last night's win. So, the little hype.
Well, I got my Big Apple leadership shirt on today. So, I'm repping my other squad.
There you go. There you go.
Baller brand, If I ain't repping the Knicks, I might as well be repping, myself, That's all. Yeah, man. Thank you. Congratulations to the Knicks. It's been like forever before they won anything in forever. It's been 7 years since they won a playoff game. And check us out. Yeah, baller.org, www.baller.org. Let's go to the platforms we're on. Remember, we on YouTube, we on Facebook, we on Instagram, we on Anchor.fm, we on Spotify. What else we on, Joe?
Oh gosh, we're on iHeartRadio, we're on Mixcloud, we're on Google Podcast, iTunes Podcast, and the eveningrushnetwork.com.
Of course, the eveningrushnetwork.com. You can also catch us at Plugged MJ. All right, that's plugged MJ, Molly and Joe, get it? But you also can catch us on Facebook, because we also have a Facebook page, Plugged with Molly and Joe. Yeah. All right, you catch us on Facebook. Check us out. We're talking today. What are we talking about today, Joe?
Oh, gosh, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Our main topic of the day is identifying African-American work ethic. Yeah, are we lazy or are we tired?
I'm gonna get to my answer later on about that one. We also got we got our current events topics, of course. We're going to talk about Bill Cosby. We're going to talk about, what else we're going to talk about there, Joe?
We're going to talk about support for other against other types of hate and why African Americans hate is not being supported. So we're talking about canceling Claire Huxtable. That's a question mark and a question, not a command. Oh gosh, we're gonna talk about, and we have a couple of other brothers that are coming on for the one that's coming on for the first time, and one that recurring guest.
One of our recurring co-hosts, it seems. He's going to be working with us in the near future, I'm sure, because he's excited about the cause. So what we're going to do also, of course, we're going to pay homage to the ancestors. But first, before we pay homage to the ancestors, before we go into the current events, before we go into the topics of the day, I would like to bring in our guests for the day, our two guests for the day. First, we have Brother Isaiah Brown. All right, there we go, Isaiah Brown. Where my bombs at, Don? My bombs at? Where's my bombs at, bro? Come on now, you're making me look bad here. You know what I mean? Isaiah Brown, what's going on, brother?
Not much. Man, can y'all hear me? Everything good?
Yeah,
Sound
yeah. All right. Yeah, listen, I'm going to go with it, man. Listen, we live right now. I'm going to ride with it. You know what I'm saying? Recurring. Yeah, all right.
Happy to be here.
All right. So what we also going to have today, we're going to have our recurring guest, Zachariah Israel. All right, yeah.
All right. There you go.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell going on with his shirt, but it's dope. It got our logo on it for some reason.
How's that?
Yeah, it's kind of dope. We got a reflection.
I was trying something with the background there.
Background. Yeah.
Okay.
It worked on your chest. That's what I don't know what happened. But welcome, brothers.
I'm just gonna keep moving like this.
Welcome, brothers, man. I know an hour really isn't enough for what we need to talk about, but this is just like I told everybody else. This is just our shot in the wind to let everybody know this is a platform for us. This is where we need to be. This is what we need to be doing at all times, just to keep that word going. I don't care what monetary thing you can get from it. It has no bearing to me, but. Of course, if it happens, it happens. So that's why you have to share and do all these other different things, support, and all that other stuff. But what we're going to do is we're going to go into our paying homage, and I'm going to start off with Joe. Joe, talk to me, brother.
All right. Well, this brother has been a really impact in my life. He's pretty much responsible for my consciousness as a young adult. And we just lost him last week. So I'm still a little mourning over a little bit. But the Honorable Paul Mooney.
Right.
Paul Mooney. Legendary. If you want to talk about man behind the man.
Behind a lot of them.
Yeah. The man behind the man.
Yeah.
You know, people don't know about his impact in comedy and black comedy. You know, he wrote for Richard Pryor. He created Homie the Clown. He's an impact for Dave Chappelle. He done so
Good Times. He wrote for Good Times.
Good Times, Sanford and Son, you name it. Like, so iconic. But the reason why he was, I guess you could say, he was blacklisted in Hollywood is because he told the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that's the sacrifice you pay for being true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're learning that today's day and age, So unfortunately, they didn't give him his flowers while he was alive, but the real heads knew. The real people who followed him knew. So that's homage to my ancestor. And I only hope one day that I could be as brash as he was. Even if it means
as brave.
Yeah.
And I think this is the beginning of it in a sense, whereas this platform, this show, because I don't think we really hold back much. We try to bring it a certain way with a certain kind of taste, but I don't think it's anything that we don't really touch on. And I think that's what that's where we got to go with it. But next up, anybody ever say anything about Paul Mooney? Anybody else right quick, brothers? No? Good? All right, so we're going to move on to our next brother, Isaiah.
Oh, somebody that impacted me? More than anything else, William H. Cosby Jr.
All right.
AKA Bill Cosby. I mean, without his tutelage and his art, I would not be sitting here before you. Like, I wouldn't have gone to college. I wouldn't have been college was it. Yeah, and I know what he's going through in his personal life, but his art don't have anything to do with that. I'm still respecting it. I still watch the shows when they come on. I'm still nostalgic. Like, I remember seeing a different world, just knowing, like, all right, I need to be there. Like, I need to be in this higher education, so that's why I want to
It was so cool, man. And we're gonna bring Bill back in the topics later, because something came up just today about your hero, to be honest with you. All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna bring Bill back. So we're gonna move on. Yeah, we're gonna move on to the next one, and that's me. All right. So I pay homage because I knew that the Knicks was gonna pull through last night. And I'm such a big Knicks fan. And this man actually, paved a lot of way in sports when it come down to fashion, when it come down just to his hard-nosed style of playing basketball and all that other stuff. And I'm paying homage to the great Walt Clyde Frazier. Woo! Clyde Frazier. Look at that boy. Sharp, boy. Sharp. Even now,
yes.
Even now, he's still doing his thing when you talk about commentating and like his word play on the commentating tip. And those 2 championships that we had so many years ago. People just always hate on us about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that was in the 70s before you was born. But he's the leader. He's the epitome of what a leader is, and he always speaks on those things. He always speaks on those things anytime he get a chance to. And I really believe that, you know, having him around in any franchise, oh boy, here you go. See the haters again, man. Won't see the ring, right? Oh boy. Listen, but it ain't about the ring. It's about Walt Clyde Frazier right now. It ain't about the ring. It's about the 2 rings he brought to us, the glory he brought to us at some point. All right.
Yeah, he's still holding on to them glory outfits. Yeah. His style ain't for everybody. I'll tell you that much. His style ain't for everybody. But you know how he talk to you though, razzle and dazzle.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Percolating and all kinds of old big words and whatnot. You know what I mean? So what we're gonna do is I'm done with my part of who I'm paying homage to, the great Walt Clyde Frazier. And last but not least, we're gonna have Zachariah speak on who he's paying homage to.
What you just said about great leaders was an excellent segue to who I'm paying homage to today. And this person was excellent, just human being. He had a huge impact in my life. I was at a turning point around 20 years old, and you know, after facing a life-threatening experience, I asked God lead me to the truth, and I met this individual who just blew me away, and that is Chief Amos, my boy. Man, I believe in our era. His arm stretched so far that it didn't only touch the lives of the people that met him, but trickled down because people are still carrying on his legacy, but beyond his own family members like myself, still talking about who he was and what he did. And
wow.
Just to sum it up, I'm gonna leave you with something that sticks in my brain about you know, his teaching style and how he touched so many lives. One story he told about his childhood, about his grandmother cooking so many cookies, and there was only enough for everybody in the house. And
I remember the story.
He had to look at that pile of cookies, and knowing that he wanted to eat them all, think about how many other people had to eat cookies. You know, and that was something he was raised with, that it really speaks to who his character, who he was. He never really was about himself, and everything he did was for other people. So, you know, big ups and shout outs to Chief Amos, you know, just a leader, a great leader.
Wow. I appreciate that, man. Listen, that man, I don't speak enough about who he was. I think I try to show who he was through what I'm trying to bring about into the community and all that, and all by examples and stuff like that, being a good father, being a teacher, being a leader, and all those other different things. And still got work to do, you know what I mean, in all those regards. But I know for a fact that he, like you said, his teachings has guided every aspect of who I am today. Because
I see it. It's evident, brother.
You know what I mean? And you know, and that's pretty dope of you to pay homage to him, because I actually did it before, but that's, you know, come on, that's my dad, so of course I would do so, you know what I mean? But you know, for you to do it, and you know, that's actually means a lot to me, and that's why you my brother, and that's why this is going to work. We're going to do watch. I tell you, I promise you, we're going to do big things. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on to our current events stage. All right, so the first one we got going on today, fellas, is Bill Cosby's parole was denied. Joe?
Yes, his parole was denied. They looked at it. They gave 3 reasons of why his parole was denied. As you see here, there are 3 reasons. The need to participate and complete additional institutional programs, the negative recommendation made by the Department of Corrections for Pennsylvania, and failure to develop a parole release plan.
What the? This is Bill.
These are things that I didn't even know you needed all those things when you were providing that. your parole. Like I've never heard those options to be really serious. I've never been in jail before, so I can't speak for it. But I've never knew that was part of the process, if you will.
Right.
And I think the only reason why they identified these as processes is because they're trying to make it as difficult as possible for him to be denied.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. They're doing him dirty because let's think about it. We know the pigment of his skin. We know the power that he possessed back in the day. Now he could be guilty of whatever he's done in his personal life, but they going this hard for him. It's BS because if they could get Michael Jackson on trial back in the 90s, how come you couldn't get Bill back then? I just don't get that. Like, and now you're just going hard on how old is Bill? Probably in his 80s now, right?
80, about 84.
Yeah. So.
And blind and blind too. Like, he.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it's I guess it's the law, whatever that means.
Zachariah.
Yeah, I don't even think that. First of all, I personally don't believe that he did the things that he's allegedly accused of or convicted of.
Okay.
At the time, he was getting ready to buy one of the major networks. And if you know, it's kind of similar to what happened with Michael Jackson, in that he just recently won a decade-long lawsuit against Sony, and he had become 51% owner of Sony. And that's just before he mysteriously died. And people like to say the things I say sometimes are conversations for conspiracy theorists, but I think that this strengthens their plan, because when people start to look at the truth as a conspiracy, nobody will believe you anymore. And I think it's a plan to keep a black man down, basically, and especially in that light.
All right, so we're gonna go with it from Cosby parole denied, and it also ties into the cancellation of Claire Huxtable in a sense, because what they wanted to do with Bill Cosby is basically cancel the Cosby Show, cancel everything that he's done good. Like Isaiah said, he was like, listen, he was responsible for a lot of young black folk for going to college. And I know that personally because I wanted to do the same, but I just, circumstances and family situations didn't allow for me to do so. But I was one that was in line, and the reason was the Cosby Show. It was nothing else. Nothing in the hood taught me that. Nothing in the streets taught me that. Nothing in the schools taught me that. But let's go to their canceling Claire Huxtable. Joe, should she be receiving backlash for supporting Cosby?
Absolutely not. She shouldn't be receiving backlash because from what I was told, but what I saw was that she posted a pic. Felicia Rashad, who played Claire Huxtable, posted a pic in regards to Mother's Day and talking about how important she was in regards to motherhood. And then as soon as she did that, that's when everything came out. So it was like the moment she brought up that character, it's like people have a bitter taste in their mouth. But she shouldn't receive backlash for anything that Bill Cosby is assumed guilty of. But it's part of the systematic oppression. It's like you're going to not just get rid of Cosby, but anything associated with him, as you all mentioned. So it could have been anybody that posted anything that was tied directly to Cosby, and they would have said, well, you're a supporter of him, so you got to be canceled too. It's part of that cancel culture structure,
Right. So Isaiah, same thing. Canceling Claire Huxtable, is that something? Should she be receiving the backlash for supporting?
Hell no. Listen, that was her colleague for so long, right? And we talk about, this goes into how I'm raising two girls, protecting all women. But if he did this right back in that time, and he was the closest to Claire, she ain't never yet talk about anything with regards to him doing any funny business. And we all know how bad Claire Huxtable was on that show, how bad she is now. I'm trying to understand, ain't none of his, he was around adults, Sandra was an adult, all other adults that was on there, all the people that funneled through that show, and nobody said anything about Bill doing anything bad to him, so I don't understand. And you can't cancel Claire Huxtable, I'm sorry. That's just not
right. Like, she's the ultimate mom. Like, she was listen, I'm telling you right now, some people would trade their mom for Claire Huxtable. You heard?
Listen, I'll still ask Claire Huxtable out for a date right now. You crazy?
Off a GP, right? So what's Zachariah?
Yeah,
Can't
I mean,
play Huxtable.
nah,
So
never, man. You know,
yeah.
she did what she's supposed to. She's sticking by the side of her colleague, you know, and I'm sure they're very good friends. You don't just flip on somebody, especially.
Yeah.
I believe she knows he's not guilty of those things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and she can't come out and say those things because then her career will be in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Right.
And we gotta remember, the people who came out and said he did something to them, their career had been on the downslide already. So
Right.
this is just for them to make themselves relevant again. Lisa Bonet ain't come out and say nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Out of
Who
all
else
people,
from the
she
cast?
hasn't said
There's
anything.
no need. She don't have
No
to come.
one.
You can't pay her off. She already making. You know, and look who her husband is too. So, but people that were on the downslide making less money than they was back then, and they almost forgotten. So yeah, we're gonna accuse him, and they probably were paid to do it, which I believe.
So I'm gonna bring it back to his parole being denied. What is that? And why is his parole being denied then?
Because
Joe?
he still has power, and he still has power in society. People still remember his work. If he comes out, he still has power. They don't want him out in the street supporting people.
That's just, real quick. Yeah, just power. Okay, Isaiah, what do you think it is? Like, do he know things? What do you think? What do you think it is?
He's the sacrificial lamb, and that is the easiest target to get. Like the other guys, like that are on trial, they're not getting the same thing. And then he's the most popular. And then of course, I mean, he's black. Like, let's just call it what it is. Like, he's a powerful black man. They ain't ready for that. Like, we still fighting for those rights. So
What was he going for as far as power? What do you think he was going for in a power sense?
Oh, the power of influences in media and like trying to buy NBC at that time.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about, and that's
the whole thing is about.
And that's the plug into the fact that that's why we have shows like Plug today, is because of men like Bill Cosby. If it wasn't for Bill Cosby, us four men would not be sitting here in this square box doing any of this right now, because we wouldn't have the confidence to do so. He showed confidence in empowerment. So what you were saying, Zachariah?
That's the whole purpose. Isaiah hit it on the head that, you know, you got so much power and you're a black man in this country, man, mind you, because there's a reason why Oprah is doing her thing and nobody's stopping her. You lift up the black woman and put down the black man, you automatically tear apart the black community.
Exactly.
And that's the whole purpose of it right there, because they start tearing the household up from the inside, and then you have control over the entire community.
Okay,
I agree.
Way bigger than just one man, you know.
Yeah. Definitely. That's why we got to keep doing this positive of what we're doing now and keep it going. You know, because I'm gonna uplift the black woman as well. But you know, I just hate when some people just try to, you know, jump on that bandwagon of putting black men down. Like, no, that's just not gonna happen. As long as I'm breathing, I know as long as y'all are breathing, that's not gonna happen.
And that's a good segue, because we're gonna go into the next topic. But I'm glad that I heard you say that, because I'm glad we have this kind of support amongst us. Because sometimes it gets lonely in your head. You know what I'm saying? When you're thinking and you're thinking real hard about your people, you know, sometimes it's like that. Do I have the support necessary to go about these positive things? But what we want to do is we're going to touch on one other topic before we head into our break. Asian Hate Crime Task Force is hosting free self-defense classes for Asian Americans being attacked. All right. Yo, wait. All right, man. Yet African Americans haven't had any protection bills passed in our favor in the centuries we've been here.
Right.
All right, Joe. Talk to me, Joe. Get me off the ledge on this one, Joe.
Listen, it takes away from their narrative.
Facts.
I think they figure that we're used to the violence. We're used to the hate that's being thrown against us. We're used to all of that. So we're not looking at it as important. Have we asked for these things? Of course we have. We see it regularly on a regular basis, and it's still happening. But I guess you could say it's sterile to us now. So it's not as big of a deal. But if it's another culture or another race that comes forth and has these problems, they're the flavor of the month. Right now, Asian American hate, anti-Asian American is the flavor of the month right now.
And when we say something, they'll sit there and try to throw it back at us as if we're being hateful.
Or racist. Exactly.
Right.
Wait a minute, we've been dealing with this for a long time. Like, how can you pay attention to one race that's asking for the things? We've been asking for the same stuff, no difference. But what's the difference between us and them?
This is perfect. This is the exact reason why this is happening. That's why it's publicized on the news. They want this reaction. They want the black community to feel about us. And then it incites more hate and more division. You know, and they want the Asians to feel like, oh yeah, you helping us. We deserve this. And then everybody's like, you know, all for themselves. You know, nobody's gonna unite.
One of the guests, one of the listeners said they had karate forever. They don't need no self-defense.
Right, they got self-defense. I thought that's what Taekwondo was, right?
Yeah. Isaiah, so tell me, Isaiah, why is no George Floyd bill, anti-lynching bill? Why wouldn't the NYPD give African American protection support?
Well, it's because of the fact that, well, two reasons. One, and let me preface this by saying, you know, I'm Asian friends. I'm, you know, and definitely all for nobody, you know, getting any violence done towards them. But it's easier to just like throw us away. Like I wrote this, I posted this one day, and I said, it's white people, it's dogs, Asians, all other races, and then us. Like we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom of the totem pole. Like, and we fight for our rights and things like that. And then I think the other part is that they organize a lot better than we do, because they have sections. They have sections in every state. There's a Chinatown in most states. There's no there's no black town. There's no.
But I mean, that's not by accident. I think it's a deeper. It goes.
Oh yeah.
Where the structure,
definitely not by accident.
The system is actually, you know, designed that way.
Right.
You know? Because Chinatown brings money to the city,
yes.
Right? But would you know, is the African American, or I don't like that word, black community actually looked at in the same light when it actually should be, because like we talked about last week, it's the highest percentage of consumers in the country.
Right.
I just don't understand why every Kennedy Fried Chicken is not owned by us. Like who made fried chicken better than us?
Right.
You know, we should be running things, but you know, it's a lot deeper, and that goes into the next segment.
So you believe that a lot of the support that a lot of these other nationalities get from the government is based off of the fact that they have more unity amongst them?
Well, I say unity, and just the fact that this is a very like racist country. Like we're not popular. They don't want to see us like they said to LeBron, shut up and dribble.
So my theory about it, and it always will be my theory about it, is that any bill or any reparations or anything that they give us to acknowledge what they've done to us will be them acknowledging the worst Holocaust possible. You understand what I'm saying? Like the eradication and the beastly I forget the word, the beastly ways they treated the black man. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, they would have to acknowledge that. They would have to say that was true for them to say, okay, here's a bill for the black man. We have to protect the black man at all costs. For them to say that now would be them admitting that they've been torturing us for years and torturing our minds for years.
I don't know any black person that ever got 40 acres in a mill.
Absolutely not. Well, I mean, look at it this way. Look how hard they're trying to just change the narrative. Now you got politicians come out and saying, "Oh, racism wasn't as bad as it was," and anything that you think about now is being deleted or is trying to be altered to make people think that it wasn't as bad as it was. When we know that that's not the case, and it's historically inaccurate for them to say that.
Do we want just a bill, or do we just want just the acknowledgement that we're here? Like, I mean, like, I don't know.
I don't know if like we need a bill. I just think that we as ourselves have to do more. I preach to any kid, like when I take kids on Black college tours, education is key. Most people who are educated aren't going to be in the streets, ain't going to be doing dumbass. We ain't going to jail. I tell every young black man, if you're heterosexual, there ain't no women in jail. You be the thug out here right now. And I'm being nice with it. The way I say it is different, but I'm just going to say it.
Like we're going to talk about that later when we have our interview, brother. We're going to talk to you about that. Zach, before we go into break.
Yeah, you know, I think as far as the unity, I think you know, no other nationality has gone through the attempted tactics of division that the Black community has endured. And I think I see her hit it on the head. It's not about looking for something that they could give, to us, because I stand with it. I stand with the Black community, but it's not something you could actually ask for. You got to go out and get it.
Right.
Point, it's beyond. It's kind of lowering your own integrity at this point to accept it. It's when we should help to go out and make something happen.
All right. So with all that said, man, I appreciate you, man. So far, so good, man. Wow. Like I said, man, I'm pacing it, you know what I'm saying? Because we got another topic coming up. But listen, like I said, an hour ain't enough. Sean, we got to get on that. We got to figure out what we're going to do. But I know an hour is not enough because a lot of these brothers I want to have recurring. My fault.
I'm all for it.
All right. But we're going to have words from our network, our favorite network, the Evening Rush Network.
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
Okay, that was the Evening Rush Network, and we are sponsored by Baller. That is my personal program, Big Apple Leadership Academy for the Arts. We're trying to do big things in the Big Apple. Kind of cheesy, but hey, it worked for me. I hope it works for everybody else. Trying to save some kids, save some lives, all right? That is BALAA, baller.org. All right, say less. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get into our top, I guess you would call it our topic for the day. Some things that be having our minds, swim around a little bit. It's called identifying African American work ethic. The question under that is, because we hear it a lot, amongst other nationalities, and it says we're lazy, or are we just tired? So I'm gonna go to Joe. I'm gonna go to Zachariah first. Zachariah, I'm gonna go to you first. Are we lazy? Are we just tired? Because listen, I love the fact that you're with us. I love the fact that you're in the trenches with us. But guess what? You are the outside looking in. Are we lazy?
I don't know. It doesn't feel like that sometimes.
Huh?
It doesn't feel like that sometimes. When you know me, Marcus. So
I know, but the viewers.
I really don't know inside and outside.
The viewers won't know. See, the viewers won't know, so the viewers will be skewed, right? But what I want you to do is clear the air, or what you've seen as what someone else would consider an outsider. You my brother. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, same. I look at it as the same here. So,
right.
Okay, let me say this. And noting back to what I mentioned before, just before the commercial break, accepting something at this point to help, the community, asking for something is kind of diminishing integrity, but it's also giving them power over you, right? When somebody's feeding you every day or giving you shelter, then they kind of hold the power over you. And then at some point, after so many generations of this, you develop a stigma that, okay, you need me, all right? You need me now because you have to come to me for everything. And that's kind of what the government did to the Black community already. And then some Blacks in the community that are accepting this help from the government have become complacent with what they're giving. And it's because of other factors of what the system is designed to make you think of yourself. Like we talked about a few segments ago, was intergenerational influence, where it becomes an impact of what is in your DNA. Like we talked about, when your heartbeat raises when you hear sirens, you know what I mean? And things like that, the education system, it's not designed for me. I will never be accepted in this environment. All of that, it creates a stigma in the brain of a Black American. Okay. And I think that's the key right there with feeling like, do we take something from, do we need something? No, you don't. You need to get up and go get it. So is it laziness? No, I think it's a product of what the system is designed and has done.
Okay. Great answer to that one, man. All right, so Isaiah, Are we lazy? Or are we just tired, bro?
I would just say at this day and age, we're lazy. I would say we're lazy in certain not the majority of us, but a good part of us, because of the fact that when I look at what our ancestors and what everybody who fought in the civil rights movement, right, in this country, that was one of the most important eras for me. They fought for rights that I have right now, to be able to get up and go anywhere, to go into institutions, learn the business, learn and take advantage of it, right? But a lot of us don't do it because we want that microwave, success. Like I just go
instant gratification, instant gratification.
And I think that for us, with everything that we've been through in this country, why are we not taking advantage of more of the opportunities? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we okay with welfare? Why are we okay with public assistance? Why are we okay with, I've seen many people like, I can't go on this trip or because I'm broke, or I can't pay my rent because I'm broke, but I could be at the club, or I could, get this birthday party together and find the will and the way. Right. So I just think that if we worked a lot harder for what we have these opportunities, and I know a lot of people are doing it, but not enough of us, in my opinion. We got these opportunities. Let's go for it. Let's use this system that has put their foot on our neck to get to where we need to go.
Yeah, yeah, bro. You feel what I'm saying? That right? We need to do it. Zach, that's what we're going to talk about, though.
We got to think about. This is a great segue from a future segment. What he just said.
Oh, yeah. Say less. Joe. Okay.
Well, I think
you brought it up, right? You the one came. I don't know. You sounded kind of tired. Like you be sounding tired. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go last on that on this one. You be sounding tired. There's some black folk that's just lazy. You tired.
Well, listen,
you tired of the BS. You tired of everything.
Well, listen, I've been working a minimum of 2+ jobs since I was 14 years old at a capacity. Okay. I know my family is very strong on work ethic. Okay. Also, they're also very family on hustling too. So I learned a little bit of both. I learned how to work hard, but I also learned how to let my hard work as well. So I've got it from both sides, and I agree with both of them. Now, what I'll say, the fact that I'll say that we're being lazy, I do agree. There's a lot of us that are being deemed as lazy because we have more opportunity than our ancestors did. But we also have to recognize that it's coming from a systematic standpoint. The families that most of these people grew up from, they may not have had the same work ethic that I did, or that any of you have. So it's been ingrained in them for generations. Let's take people in housing and development, for example. Most of them have that crabs in a barrel mentality. Misery loves company. If one person's doing bad, they expect everybody to be doing the same. There's no encouragement to go out and do better.
Some of us have no longer an excuse.
So
I'm with you, Isaiah. No such thing.
It's no longer an excuse.
Crabs in the barrel. I don't do crabs in the barrel. Now the crabs in the barrel mentality, I don't do, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because crabs don't belong in the barrel. That's the symbolism of systemic oppression. You understand what I'm saying? That's the symbolism of systemic oppression right there, right, Zach? No, like the crabs don't belong. Huh?
They want to get out because they don't belong in there.
They don't belong in there. It's the same as us. We don't belong in that barrel that this country puts us in. So what we tend to do is try to pull our way out, and they usually have us fighting against ourselves. So when you ask the question, right? So when you ask the question, and you see, to get out of the hood or to get out of our situation, it's always to get out, never to pour into. If we understand, what happens is they always have us in this barrel where we trying to get out. Go into the suburbs, go to California, going back
to the South, go
South, go here. Nah, that's the reason why I'm still here, because it would have been easy to go down south and to do all those things. Yeah, how am I going to do anything for my community if I'm not here? So I'm not lazy. I'm tired of having to work for anybody else besides my people. That's my thing. You understand what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to them, I'm going to be lazy as hell. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to be lazy as hell. They don't get none of my energy.
Let's just clarify that definition of tired. Tired to the point, not tired physically, not tired that I can't take it no more, but tired of this shit. So now
pretty much.
That's the opposite of now.
But we got to use this system for us.
Right.
And a lot of people don't. It starts with education. It starts with, you don't got to get a degree, but you got to be educated in something and then build from there.
Right.
Like people don't, and we're, I understand that people don't know, and it's not from their, like their ancestors or their elders in their family. They can't be taught that, but you can teach yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like nobody, there's no class to teach you how to deal with social media.
There's a lot of self-taught men. Yes, Jews get all the food stamps too. Yep. They get the help. They allow the government to do what they need to do. Listen, while they keep their cash to themselves. But now, speaking of cash, currency, we have a talking point. Time is the new currency. What did you mean by that, Joe? You brought it up in the meeting.
We look at time as something that's priceless, but at the end of the day, we all have a limited amount of time. That's something we cannot multiply. We cannot extend. We got a limited amount of time on this earth from birth to death. That's the time that we have to use to better our lives. But people look at time now as something that is unlimited, and it's not. So when I say the value in currency, I mean that my time is valuable, meaning that I'm here doing this when other things can be happening, or I could be using it in other assets. So for us, but you're getting the best out of my time right now. If the currency is that the knowledge that I'm pertaining to everybody, that I'm talking about to everybody, but using the time that you have currently, yes, we have a limit on what we can do from birth to death, but it's within that time frame. It makes it valuable. That gives a reason.
Let me jump in there before I forget this thought about it, because time is the new currency. That it sparked something in me, because I've always said one thing: time is of the now. You know what I mean? Time is of the now. Time is of the moment. The fact that people use time as currency, whereas you have an hour in a day. You understand what I'm saying? You have 24 hours in a day. You have 60 minutes in an hour. All of those things are used to control us. You understand what I'm saying? Let me explain what time has done. Time is used to control man. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you fragment it into intervals where you say, okay, the daytime is for work, and then the nighttime is for doing such and such. The daytime is for getting your money, but the nighttime isn't. You understand what I'm saying? So when you do it like that, they made it a currency that is not that really it ain't. That's not what it is. Time is up here and now. Where I am right now is what is important. I'm here talking to you brothers right now. Everything else is happening in the world has nothing to do with me, because I have no control over the billions of people that's doing other things. So that's what people tend to get caught up in. You know what I mean? So time being a new currency, Zach.
Yeah, like what are you doing right now? There's a book that I have on my to-read list, and it's called what's the name of this book? Something about how to get the most out of an hour.
Okay.
Right? So, because for me, time management, when I have so many different things going on, then trying to balance work life, family, all the things are important. You can't just be a workaholic. You have to have a balance, and you have to have time for fun and time for building your children and your relationship, right? With your woman or friends, whatever. And all that is important to growth. Until we learn to cut those puppet master strings, and that's why I agree with Isaiah about, education being key. Because you can't be independent, and you can't get the most out of your time, and then your time is not even valuable if you're not doing, like, nighttime is actually a time when I make money too. But you gotta have that 9 to 5 mindset, which is a slave mentality.
Right. So
I agree.
Isaiah, time being the new currency. What do you think on that in that situation?
I just think like this, all right? So I'm gonna just go back real quick. COVID happened, right? I had one job, 9 to 5. And then I realized I was bored because I was home. I wasn't going anywhere. I was working from home. So I was like, I need to be maximizing this time, like maximizing those extra, I'm working probably like 4 hours out of the day, and I'm supposed to be on for 8, but then I'm like, all right, let me use this other 4 to do something else. I think it's all about what you do with your time. A lot of people waste time. A lot of people get these roadblocks. Oh, you by 30, I got to have this. So I got to be married by this. And I'm like, you can't even control that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm 40 and I'm still this, like, getting to certain new stuff that has just gotten to me. And I think people use that as a roadblock. Like, I can't do this at this age, or I can't do this now. And you have the same 24 that I have, that all of us gentlemen have. And we just, some people waste it. Some people take advantage of it. You just got to get your multitasking skills up, basically.
Last on this topic, are you guys familiar with the Pomodoro technique?
No.
25 minutes hard work, take a break 5 minutes, go back 25 minutes hard work. The human mind, they have done studies that we are designed to be most productive in those intervals. And if you something I just learned last year. I tried it and I haven't been consistent, but it works for me.
Okay. Yeah. So they have and I mean, all right. So when you look at it, it says identifying African American work ethics, the power of competition. Do they use competition for is competition good? I mean, is it good for us as a community or is it bad for us as a community? Because they seem to throw everything as a matter of competition.
Can I answer that? Can I jump in?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think competition is very necessary, especially if you want to win. When I was in college, when I went into those, as soon as I got into class, I looked at everybody and I said, "You're my competition. I need to get this A before you get it." They didn't know that I was competing with them, but I needed that competition to keep me going. You know what I'm saying? I had study groups. I wanted us to win over that other study group. Like if it was a competition, I think it's necessary. It makes you go harder. It's sort of like, and my life is like a sports reference. Like when I get on the court and I play basketball, I don't care who's on the other side. If you're not on my team, I'm going at you. I'm trying to win.
Okay. Copy. So now, Zach, how do we define success through our work ethics? Like what is the measurement there?
I mean, that depends on what you determine success to be. You know, we're talking about money because there's some people that understand that you don't have to have money to be successful.
Absolutely.
But are you providing? Are you happy at the end of the day? Are you accomplishing a purpose in life? Well, they asked John Lennon what he wanted to be in kindergarten, and he said happy when you grow up, right? Marley said, the interviewer asked Bob Marley, you know, do you consider yourself rich? And he said, what do you mean rich? He said, well,
yes, I love that interview. I love that interview.
Do you have, you know, did you make a lot of money off of your music? He said, what do you call a lot of money?
He said, my money does not determine my wealth.
No,
he said, I love that interview. That's my joint right there.
That kind of richness. He said, my richness is life.
Yes.
You know,
I love that interview.
I mean, you know, so it depends on what you determine as success, but that has to be in the mind of the individual. So whatever you want you to accomplish in life, are you accomplishing that? And then that'll define your success. Copy. And you're taking the steps to get there, and you can answer that question. Everyone can answer that question on their own.
Correct. Joe, you brought in the point of the importance of sabbaticals, and me personally, I know the importance of sabbaticals, so I speak to that as well. The importance of sabbaticals is very important. You need the rest of the mind. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be sitting there working extremely hard on everything in life and not be able to take some time to yourself. Because if we don't, this country will have you running 7 days a week, 24 hours, 365 days just to get them ahead. You know what I mean? So yes, sabbaticals are very important to our state of mind.
Agreed.
What do you think about that, Joe?
And the symbolism point, this country is like a well-oiled machine, as they like to say, and we're the robots. But we're human beings. We can't do the same things that robots do. They expect us to be on 24/7, 365, nonstop, whether it's working or life, period. Right. We have to realize our value is not from work or trying to succeed the best way we can. Our value should be in what we do in life. Because going back to what I mentioned about time earlier, that's all we have. Right. So we need to use our time as wisely as possible. I think sabbaticals is something that in other countries that you go to, like in Australia and New Zealand, they're given 3 months a year out of the whole year to travel, to do whatever, to clear their head, to clear their minds.
Okay.
It's a
well,
game.
That ain't happening here, brother.
In the United States, where we're such a capitalist environment, the focus, the value is money. Money, 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 money. Do what you got to do to get it. Doesn't care, don't care who you take out, don't care how you get it, just get it done. There's no time for rest. When at the end of the day, the rest is a necessity. They look at rest as a liability. That's not the case.
Nah, so because if we're resting, they're not making money. So what we gonna do with that being said, we're gonna go. We're gonna talk to our brother Isaiah Brown. I like how
Yes.
your name. I like how you spelled and everything. It's a smooth name, man. Smooth name.
I appreciate it.
You know what I mean? You got the smooth. You know what I mean? Brother came off the beach. You know what I mean? Brother came off the beach. You thought I was gonna forget. You thought I was gonna forget. You came
Hey,
off the
listen,
beach.
it's
know
something
what I mean?
about the salt water that brings me closer to God.
I hear you, bro. But I'm gonna let Joe ride this one out with you, man, because Joe, you know, you and Joe have a history. So I'm gonna let Joe speak on this.
Well, yes,
I'll take it off. Tell us about yourself. Who is Isaiah Brown?
Well, I'm just a black man from the Bronx, you know, from the 80s Bronx, grew up, poverty, all that good stuff. And, you know, just took all the negative stuff that I grew up with. And, you know, I kind of broke my life down into like 235s. I know we're going to get into the book I wrote. And I wrote about the first 35 years of my life, which were a struggle. And I took that struggle and I tell everybody I'm so pro education because if it was not for education, I would not be here. In breathing, I would not be here. It saved my life, and that's why I'm so passionate about it. And you know, I'm just a black man who's a black father and all about black. You know, and that's about it. That's the best way to sum it up.
Joe?
Well, I know you on a more personal level. You know, this is my football brethren right here. We've known each other for 10 plus years. You know, and it doesn't feel like it's been that long either. You know, time goes by that fast. But you introduced me to a song that you helped promoting called Black Man Strong.
Yes.
Can we play about 30 seconds of it? Will that kill?
Go ahead, do your thing.
Okay.
We got time.
All right. So what we did was I wanted to play a
Turn it up.
Okay, that's me. Okay, sorry. Sorry about that. That's me.
We was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with that, you know, the civil rights movement. We was asking, you know, now those people that were asking, they're all down in jail. So now what do you think we're gonna do? A black man strong, this black man strong, this black man gonna get through it all. A black man strong, this black man strong, this black man gonna rise through it all.
Now, I don't want to spoil it because I think people need to look more into it. But I mean, I've related so much to it because I am a black man and I am strong, you know. So and not just the sense of being a black man, but being a strong black man, but in sense of pride and sense of passion and sense of life.
Right.
What did that idea of the song come from? Like, why are you promoting it?
I'm promoting it because, you know, I started my own company to basically invest. So I got this opportunity to help any artist that wanted to not be signed, not be, you know, raped of their privileges of their intellectual property to, you know, get their music out on all streaming platforms. So one of my childhood friends, he has a label. He had these two artists, and the two artists that are on that song are Jay West and featuring Double O. It's called Black Man Strong. And, you know, it's the first song that I put out under, you know, my company through a distribution company that I partnered with, and we got it out there. So we just got to do all the marketing on our own. So I do appreciate you, you know, playing this for your loyal followers. And, you know, what better song, Black Man Strong, to, you know, from a black man trying to just, you know, get where he got to go.
Listen, we looking for a new intro song anyway, so we might need that. Yeah, I mean, because we need copyright rights and all other stuff.
Okay.
So
I know.
Since you're a friend of the show, we might switch it up. You know what I mean?
Well, let me know. Hey, listen, I get the artists and they can sign off. If y'all want to, you know, use that parts of that, that'll be great.
No doubt. Zachariah, you got a question for him?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can we share a link somewhere on the screen to where we might purchase that music?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, it's all on all streaming platforms. Tidal, Apple Music. That's the two main ones. Oh, Spotify, things like that. So I can definitely share a link.
Okay, cool. I mean,
Well,
we
like,
can
It's in a private chat.
go on Apple.
Okay. So, but what we got here, besides your song "Black Man Strong," and you said that this is from is a label that you have going on.
Oh no, I just have a company LLC that I'm just an investor, right? I'm just what they call the plug in the street. So if you got music that you want to put out, come to me. I can set it up and get it all out to on all streaming platforms, and then I can help with the marketing because I have a marketing and digital marketing background.
All right. Shoot, listen. All right. Well, that's what I like to hear. Shoot, I like to hear how you can help me. All right. No problem, brother. We help each other in this sense. You know what I mean? Okay. So, what was your? I know you promote the song based on your company, but I mean, you simply could. You really can just go and like you could support them and they go shop it themselves. What made you want to actually be a part of the promoting aspect?
Just because, we all if they make money, I make money. Of course, it's an investment, so I want the investment to take off. And then I'm helping, the Black community. I'm helping, get that intellectual property out there because you're not signing away your rights. So when, if you give me something that I believe in and we want to put out and they believe in strongly, let's put it out and then I'll do the marketing because, the marketing is easy. I mean, that's the fun part. Just seeing how many ears I can get it into and things like that. And it's all grassroots. And then, I keep building off of that, single after single.
Being the plug, as you would say, saying yes, the plug, as we know, that's why I say plugged in, it all play on words and whatnot. Are there any other things that you are the plug for, per se?
Well, I could be the plug for independent, putting an independent book out. My book is called Black Therapy, The Life That Almost Killed Me. I wrote it, produced it, lived it, and put it all together, edited it myself, and then worked with a great publisher who they got it up on Amazon and Barnes and Nobles and other places. And, I kept all the rights to my, my books. So it's been doing pretty well. So, I felt like this book would be inspirational to people. So, I like to plug people on what I went through so they don't have to go through some of the bull crap that I went through. You know what I mean?
Joe, you got another question?
Well, what's the story behind? I mean, I know a little bit of it, but for those who don't know, what's the story behind Black Therapy? Like, what made you decide to write a book about your life?
Yeah, it's autobiography. It's an autobiography. However, it's more so me analyzing myself, right? I went to therapy before and I felt like it wasn't necessary for me because I can have a conversation with anybody and get my thoughts across and things like that. So I decided to break down. Like I was on a train on my iPhone, I put the table of contents together and then the words just started flowing. It took me about a year to write it. And then it was just me taking every little negative or even positive, things like sex and things like that, everything, and just analyzing it myself, asking those questions to myself in book format, just to see, if I could learn more about why I went through this, why were we poor? Why were we on welfare? Why was there no success? Why did I witness, drugs and domestic violence and things like that? Why was I neglected and things like that? So instead of me going on the swan song, like, I did this, blah, 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 I was like, no, why did I, go through that and try to answer that in the book? And I think I did. I've gotten good feedback on this. I think I did a good job.
Well, Zach, you got a last question, Zachariah, for him? Sorry, Joe. Matter, hold on, Zach. Hold on, Zach.
Right, Zach.
Joe, what you about to ask?
Well, no, I was gonna say, from what I've read, I can totally relate. Like, we don't realize how much in common we have as a people. Like, your story resonated to me, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people looked at it and said, "Wow, our lives are not that far apart, or certain aspects of it." So, just to let you know, from a personal standpoint, that as we talk about, we're not all as different as we seem to be. Like, we all go through very similar life experiences, and it's a matter of how we respond from those experiences. So that was just me, giving you kudos for your book and how it resonated.
Appreciate it.
Zach, you got a last question for the brother before we close out?
No, I had a comment on what he said, though. I want to read the book now too. I mean,
I send that link.
Yeah, because I could relate to what he was talking about. Having gone through a therapy session and realizing I don't need this, I could do this for myself. And that's always self-analyzing themselves. That's the person that's going to grow the furthest. you know. Yeah, and I think that's important for what the whole thing is trying to accomplish. So, brother, and we need more of that in the community.
Yeah, self-therapy. Okay, there goes link there. All right, self-therapy. My last question for you, brother Isaiah. Isaiah. It's Isaiah Brown, brother Isaiah Brown. I like it. What advice will you give to young people who want to succeed?
You gotta take the good with the bad. You gotta, put a little plan together under, the Most High's plan. And, you got to keep going. Like, my thing is, you put one foot in front of the other. Like, I remember being broke. I remember being broke in college. I remember being broke in high school, all that. But I kept going because I knew it was a means to an end. I educated myself, made myself more marketable so that I could be successful. So that at this age, I could go out here and get a job and use them to get where I got to go and things like that. So I would tell anybody, and I tell kids when I take them on Black College tours, like, this is why you're here. You're here to use this as a hustle. Right? You get into school, it ain't just about the book and about learning. It's a hustle. It's using that to get to where you want to go, because eventually you're going to want to make money. And then you want to take that money and invest in yourself. You can do that, but it's a journey. It's a slow process. Everybody don't just get rich overnight. You know?
Listen, patience. Like I said, if you live in the moment, if you live that in every minute that you're alive, trust me, you'll get somewhere. Just live in the moment. Don't live, because the past is the past. That's another thing. They try to control our time by using our past against us a lot of times, and don't allow that. Don't allow that. People do not allow people to use your past against you, because it's a waste of time. That is a waste of your time to have to sit there and mull over what you already been through. You're talking about the here and now as we're closing out. Brother Brown, man. It was definitely a pleasure having you, man. Listen, we're definitely going to kick it, man, because you bring a lot to the table that we are all about, and we got so much going on. Joe and I, Zachariah and I, we're actually trying to do something to shake up the world, I guess you'd say, because people we think
I'm all for it.
We think this community stuff, and I think we got to think a little broader. You know what I mean? Because it's beyond our community, it's beyond their reach to even help us. You know what I mean? I want to thank you, brother Isaiah Brown. Zachariah, you came through. Anything you want to say before, because got a few seconds before we go?
No, I just think what was spoken about in this show is going to be a great segue for a future segment that's coming up. Think about this when we get off, but you'll see what I'm talking about.
All right.
It's been a part of that. I have a feeling.
I'm here if you need me.
All right, my partner in crime, my main man, brother Joe. Words by Joe. My man, what's up? Talk to me.
Listen, there's so much that's going on in this world. We just got to keep our feet to the ground. Don't let society confuse you. Don't let society make you feel like your life isn't worth anything, or what you're giving to the table isn't worth anything. We see what's happening, and we all have our own internal growth within ourselves, and use that growth in the positive way as possible. So we just got to keep doing what we're doing and hope for the very best.
Yep.
Keep digging away. And I mean, I hope everybody got something out of this show. I hope people got a little knowledge out of the show, a little laughed out of the show, a little levity, a little understanding, a little therapy. I want it to be therapeutic. I want all of these things to be, happening as you guys watch. And I appreciate anybody that watched all the way through. If you watch 10 minutes, I don't care. Watch 5 minutes, I don't care. Because I guarantee you, any segment that you watch of this show, you'll get some information out of it. You'll get a good vibe out of it, and that's even in the intro. I don't care. We start from the intro with our mess. So at the end of the day, I want to thank Words by Joe. I want to thank Isaiah Brown. I want to thank Zachariah Israel. Zach, we're gonna talk. And guess what, fellas? We out. Salute. Peace.
Peace.